Welcome at the Wawazen Waterwall School. Here I will give you a step-by-step installation guide for the 10Delight big indoor waterfall kit, as you can see it here. Of course, you need to measure before you do the installation the correct distances, and you need to find out the size of your slab so that once you have your slab, your glass slab or stone slab, put inside the bottom tank so that you still have here around about 5 millimeters space left above. So this is the ideal optimal position at the end of the installation. So means that you need to measure all the distances before so that you get there in order to have the right size of the slab before you start with the installation. And in this example I'm showing you an installation which is using C-tracks at the ceiling and also with additional square C-tracks here, because this gives you maximum flexibility regarding the position of your overflow channel, which is important because you really want to have it nicely leveled, and it will help you avoid unwanted problems when you drill holes in a concrete ceiling, because these C-tracks, they come with multiple holes, so you always will be able to mount these on the ceiling, and after you have mounted them on the ceiling, then you can use these threaded rods or, as here in the example, another C-track in a square position. So this is the example I will use in this video. So actually it's this example. You also can just use the C-tracks above and then work with the threaded rod if you don't want to be so flexible. So then you just go directly with the threaded rod in the first C-tracks. If you don't want to mount it to the ceiling, and okay, by the way, of course you can completely work without these C-tracks and mount these threaded rods into the ceiling, but then it depends on the material of the ceiling. You might get problems if it's a concrete ceiling. If it's a wooden ceiling, then I think it's no problem. Then you don't need these C-tracks. But if you want to be flexible, and that's what I also want to mention, if you want to have additional support installation possibilities, then these C-tracks are really ideal, because you can mount a number of other things on those without having the need of drilling additional holes. For example, LED lights or covers or hoses. So that's why I like those C-tracks so much. If you don't want to mount to the ceiling, then and you want to mount to the wall in the back, then you have like 3 basic possibilities. Number 1 is actually not my favorite because it's not so easy to adjust regarding the leveling. You just use these small brackets which come with the delivery. Number 2 would be, actually that's a little bit better and easier for you later to adjust, is to use these triangle brackets here at the side and then mount the overflow channel on it with these additional brackets here, and then you will be able nicely to level it with some bolts and nuts here at the side. And then regarding the mounting at a wall, on a wall at the back, this would be my preferred system. You use the triangles above your overflow channel, and then you can use threaded rods here again, which gives you the best opportunity to really micro adjust the level and height of your overflow channel so that you have the water nicely distributed. And here you can see a combination of 2 overflow channels connected to each other at the wall at the back, so they would be screwed together here at these outer holes. Then you use one of these brackets here in the middle again to mount it on this triangle to have a support so that it's not hanging down here. So that's how you would then use 2. So let's come back here to our basic installation. So first thing, you measure everything nicely. Then you mount the C-tracks at the ceiling. Next step is you put the overflow channel here, and by having it mounted like that, make sure you don't fix it tightly and leave space above so that you are able to lift it later for about 1 inch up. This is what is going to be necessary when you want to insert the glass slab. I will show you this in a minute. So then after you have mounted the overflow channel at the top, I would recommend to use a rubber layer below the bottom tank to detach vibrations that might be occurring with your pump. I'm offering you one of the most silent pumps, but still there might be some vibrations, and if you have a hollow wooden floor, then it's good to detach the vibrations. Then you put your bottom tank here, and you mount these C-tracks, which are also in the delivery. By the way, the C-tracks for the ceiling are not in the delivery, but these now, they will be in the delivery. You mount these on the bottom of the bottom tank and on the side walls by using the washers and nuts and the welded bolts in the bottom tank. So that's the next step. After you have done that, you also mount these brackets here, and you use these plastic wedges. This one will hold the glass plate and avoid that the glass plate gets contact with the steel C-track. And that one here is necessary so that your bracket doesn't get an angle. It really stays straight so that this surface then will not have a sharp point when it holds the glass plate later. So then you would put the glass slab on this plastic wedge, and the basic idea is that you tilt the glass slab a little bit like that, and then you, of course, first you put it in like here. You put it on the plastic wedges, and then you tilt it back. And when you tilt it back, that's the moment you want to be able to lift the overflow channel just for a few seconds like that, so that you can tilt the slab inside this profile, and then you will lower the overflow channel again, and then this slab cannot drop out again. Then the next step is to put the front bracket here and also the additional plastic wedge here, and then tied it up. At the same time, you want to have these other brackets here at the back of the glass slab, which will hold the glass slab tightly. Here comes an important point. I recommend not to glue these connections, because you want to be flexible regarding this slab, and if you press in these plastic wedges tightly, they won't go anywhere. So this is the way in 95% how I'm fixing the glass slabs or stone slabs, just by pressing powerful these plastic wedges in the back. Important point is that don't have the plastic wedges here at the side, because otherwise you would create a bridge. So let me just show you what it would look like if you would have the plastic wedge here. The water could travel across the glass on the wedge and then here on the overflow channel and then wander anywhere, and that's what we want to avoid. So it's important that your plastic wedge has like 1 inch distance here to the ledge of the slab. And before you do that, and before you tighten these nuts and washers here at the side, make sure that your overflow channel is leveled. So really leveled, and try to do it as good as possible, because then later when the water is running you won't need to adjust. So really make this overflow channel 100% straight and leveled so that the water gets nicely distributed on both sides. Okay, so now actually this was a big moment. We have the slab safely installed. Now you can take a breath and relax. Nothing's broken. You did a good job. Then you insert the skewed plate by putting it here on the C-tracks. Then there is a hammerhead bolt to fix the C-track on that one at the wall, and then you get these brackets. With these brackets you hold the C-track. Oh, I'm sorry. So the hammerhead will be here, and this bracket is holding the C-track, and then here again you have welded bolts or hammerhead that hold the skewed plate, and you want the skewed plate really to touch the glass slab so that the water gets redirected, which will avoid noise and will avoid splashes, because as it's redirected the splashes will go in this direction and they will not hit like straight out and out of the bottom tank. Okay, we have installed the skewed plate. Then you can install the PVC subdistribution, as you can see it here. And there's an important point: before you really install it finally, don't glue it totally, which means glue only these elements here. So the hose barb with the knee and the connection to the T. So these elements, you can glue them. But these other connections here and here, and also at the other side, the T and the cap, do not glue them, but just use duct tape so you stay flexible regarding the position and dimension of the drilled holes in your PVC subdistribution. And I will show you now how to and where to drill the holes. So the first hole needs to be in 10 centimeter distance to the ledge of your slab, so 10 centimeters. And you drill it at the bottom of your PVC subdistribution. And then, of course, here you have the same thing, so at 10 centimeters. And then you have this distance here. So let's just say, for easy calculations, this might be maybe 90 centimeters. So it doesn't matter what kind of distance you have here, you always divide it by 3. And the result is then the distance you need for the other two drillings. So in this case it would be 30 centimeters, which means that you will have 2 additional drillings 30 centimeters away from the already existing ones, and this gives them an equal distribution of these holes. So we have here another drilling and here another drilling, and it's really like that. You really only need those 4 holes. Those holes at the outside, they should be around 7.5 millimeter. So you can use 7, 6.5. I wouldn't go more. And these here in the middle, those 2, they should be around 9 millimeter. You can go up to 10, but I wouldn't go bigger than 10. And here again it would be 7.5. Just a small explanation on that. What you want to have is, you don't want to have too much water at the side, because otherwise you create a stream towards the middle, because if you have more water here, it has to go somewhere, and then you create a stream towards the middle, which will remove the water here at the side. But you want to have enough water here at the side to avoid dry areas. So in 95% of your projects, this distribution will work. If not, then use the spare PVC pipes, which I also deliver, and then try other holes with other dimensions at other positions. Okay, so now you have inserted the PVC pipe. Okay, come on. And then you put in the pump and the dirt filter, as you can see here. So on the pump we have a T, and towards one direction we go to the overflow channel at the top. And right at the T we have a valve, then a hose barb, where you put the hose, which then goes to your dirt filter. And this you connect with the hose barb here at your overflow channel. You have to make sure that this PVC subdistribution and that hose here at the top are fixed, and in order to do so you can use these brackets here and then you can use a hose clamp or I think it's called a zipper. So in order to hold and fix the hose, and if you fix the hose near to the PVC subdistribution, then the subdistribution itself also won't move anymore. Of course, the final fixation, you will do it only after you have calibrated the water distribution. And down here, let me show you once again, you have one part of the water goes through the dirt filter and the other one goes to the overflow channel. You can use these holes at the side to go through with the hose. And there's one important thing: only use a small amount of water going through this dirt filter, because if you forget to change the filter medium, this filter will clog after some time. And if this dirt filter is clogged, then all the water that is supposed to go through here will go to the overflow channel, and you don't want too much water going up here to the overflow channel, because then otherwise you might get splashes and the water might go around at the dry back. You don't want to have any water here. So very important is that you only have a very small amount of water going through this dirt filter, because if it's clogged, then the additional amount won't create splashes and unwanted water travels on your slab. So this valve needs to be almost closed. And then the pump itself has also a valve which sits here before the other filter. And with this you will adjust the amount of water that goes to your overflow channel. And important point, before you turn it on, in most cases it's good to close it half, because if it's completely open you will have the full force of the power, and usually I am delivering pumps that have a power reserve, and if you pump the whole amount of water up here, then again you will have some splashes and much too much water. So rather only open it 50%, maybe only 30% at the beginning, and then still you can increase the amount of water by opening this valve at the side. So yeah, I hope this helps understanding the system and helps you with your installation. If you have questions, please contact me. I would be glad to help you. And I wish you so much joy and success with your project. And yeah, please, have a good time. Bye-bye.